So I'm trying to distinguish in general between we have team names, right? We have the Chiefs, the Blackhawks, the Redskins no longer. Then we have logos themselves, and then we have kind of let's say like celebrations or crowd chants, like the Braves kind of do the tomahawk, the Chiefs have kind of the war chant. So going through those different layers, are all of those kind of the same, or are some of those, are all those offensive, or are some of them not?
Yeah, I could talk a long time on this. We started to work with the Washington football team about 5-6 years ago. The thing that really bothers me is those chants and people in headdresses and face paint, because those are very honorable and sacred items within tribes. And so the idea was to educate. Why not use the NFL platform to educate folks in our country, which is about 98%. I think 2% is indigenous to this land. But to educate those folks on, this is why you don't use face paint. This is why you don't wear a headdress. And you sure don't chant and do it's called like the John Wayne tomahawk chop, that those old TV series and movies had all that stuff. That really is disturbing. And it was always interesting to me as the Washington NFL team started to incorporate actual Blackfeet singing with their hand drums and in regalia, and everyone was still really upset. And I understand the name. The name was what was the focal point. But then to watch the Super Bowl and the Kansas City Chiefs, they have a big tokenized drum that they pound, and they do that tomahawk chop and the chant, and that just turned me sour on everything. And it was always interesting to me that there wasn't a lot of kickback from that. But the name with the football team in Washington was the focal point, but that other stuff was allowed. And that does not belong in any of this. And I think as you start to educate folks, they'll realize why that is.
I know it might be difficult to do in a brief conversational setting like this, but would you be able to give kind of a quick summary on what the chant means in the headdress and their, significance to your tribe?
With our tribe, and of course everyone is different. There's 574 now, 574 federally recognized tribes, and our tribes are not a race, they're nations within a nation. They're sovereign, and they have the treaty obligations with the United States government. So each tribe is very different and unique in their ceremonies and their respect within our tribe, and I'll do the best. There's others that know way more than me, but you earn a headdress, and it's through deeds, acts to better your people, to better yourself. It's an honor, and I'd always compare it to a soldier or a general and all of their medals that they have on their uniform. People wouldn't just go out and buy a uniform and have fake medals put on there and walk around saying they're a decorated veteran. It's the exact same thing when it comes to a headdress. You just don't go put that thing on and act like, well, here I am. And so it was more like, how do we educate people on that? I was thinking the analogy of a veteran, a decorated veteran would be excellent. And I sent that information into the Washington football team. I never seen it go anywhere. And then with the face paint, that's it has deep meaning, but it's a very sacred thing to use face paint. There's deep meaning behind all of it, and it's in various situations. The chants, that has nothing to do with us at all. That was a Hollywood version of how they seen our people. And many of our tribes, I'll use an example of one of my brothers from Lakota. The beat of the drum is the heartbeat of us. And so that beat is to represent our heart in a lot of ways. And again, it's different with every tribe, but those songs are very sacred. They mean so many things of strength and power. And it is very disrespectful to have them doing that tomahawk chop chant. And so again, I try to take the avenue as people don't know what they don't know. So how can we be better at educating them? And I do feel once people understand some of this stuff, they will react responsibly.